It's a real pleasure to be here because, look, we've heard from Boeing, the Boeing company, 103 years old, and I'm representing Ford Motor Company, and we're 116 years old. And so you have two titans of American industry, hopefully on the cutting edge of technology, and we appreciate the opportunity to be here with you today. It's also a neat time to be at Ford, not because we're making great cars and trucks, and we certainly are, but tomorrow there's a movie that's opening, and Ford Motor Company is the star of that movie. How about that? It's a movie called Ford versus Ferrari. Now, we at Ford Motor Company have been committed to transportation for a very long time. In fact, I'll go back to the founding of the company and pull up this old ad from the Saturday Evening Post. It talks about opening the highways for all mankind. And that was Henry Ford, the founder's vision. That's very different than, let's say, the ultimate driving machine. This is about mobility and transportation. And that's what the Model T did. Help people move and achieve much more than they ever had before. And that vision continues. In fact, Mr. Ford said the freedom of movement drives human progress. And that's what drives Ford Motor Company today. Now, you fast forward, in 2011, Bill Ford Jr., Henry Ford, the founder's great-grandson, spoke at a TED conference, and you can see what he said. It's clear that the mobility model we have today will simply not work. We are going to build smart cars, and we are doing that, but we also need to build smart roads, smart parking, smart public transportation systems. And in fact, that's the team that I'm a part of, a team at Ford called City Solutions that is out working with cities to try to get those cities ready for the mobility challenges of the future. And in fact, those challenges are significant. We have mega cities, urbanization and such, autonomous vehicles coming, so the world of mobility has to change. So our team works with local cities and municipalities to understand their needs and help address them. I'm sharing a study. This is the top priorities to creating a resilient community. This is a survey of mayors from 2017. You can see economic development was the number one priority. How does mobility play there? Well, if you can minimize travel time to and from a job and enhance mobility, it's a benefit. Public safety is achieved not just having a street light turn on and off, but maybe you can do it more efficiently, dim it at certain hours and make it bright at other hours. So there's a whole play to mobility and infrastructure that's being aided by technology. If you work on down the list, we can see infrastructure and, in fact, air quality are improved with interconnected ecosystems of transportation. And, of course, a city is better off if transportation equality is available for all residents. But the challenges are significant, and they're persistent. Congestion on roads, and now today at the curb, with the advent of ride-hailing companies and the ubiquitous pickup and drop-off. Many times you see a ride-hailing car parked in a lane of traffic as somebody gets out or gets into the vehicle, causing congestion. We have climate change, and I'll pause for a minute. Ford Motor Company firmly recognizes that global warming is an issue, and we're supportive of many, many efforts to address global warming. In fact, there's quite a battle today between the state of California and the federal government, the Department of Transportation and the Trump administration, about where to set fuel economy standards in the future. The state of California wants higher standards, and in fact is being sued by the federal government. I'm proud to say Ford Motor Company is one of only a few OEMs that's siding with the state of California for a higher fuel economy because, again, we need to address global warming. And we have other challenges, thank you. We have other challenges. How do we create rules and regulations with cities that address the transportation issues of today and tomorrow? We at Ford and our City Solutions team, and working with Spark Cognition, are working on issues such as that. We own a scooter company, Spin, and we're working with artificial intelligence to identify where do we put stations, recharging stations, for those scooters. They have to be where people ride the scooters. They have to be where they can be accessible by the maintenance team at the company, Spin. So those are all issues that we're facing. In terms of parking and curb management, the old meter that you just put a quarter in and is a dumb meter, parking meter, is going away. Meters can be dynamic. And how can we use artificial intelligence to manage pricing to motivate behavior? Maybe we want to clear the street in the afternoon so traffic can flow, but allow parking in the middle of the day. So there are tremendous opportunities to employ technology in this world. Let's talk about a little bit more about how we're doing that. How can we help cities? We have an array of data sources that were unheard of 10 or 20 years ago. Ford has 3 million plus connected vehicles on the road today. The depth and the breadth of the data that comes out of your cell phone is tremendous. We have crash data and more connected infrastructure data. But it's going beyond that. The notion, the dream of the Internet of Things is only now coming alive. In fact, we have 5 quintillion bytes of data produced every day. That's a 5 followed by 18 zeros. In the year 2030, just 10 years from now, we'll have more than 30 billion connected devices. I'll tell you, my household is contributing to that 30 billion. Of course, we have multiple nodes of Amazon Alexa. We have smart tablets and all of that, smart lights. We have 3 connected cars. Even my sprinkler system is connected to the internet. So this world, the notion of the Internet of Things is truly coming alive. And we need to figure out how we can use all this rich connected data, especially in the transportation ecosystem, to make the world a better place. Our team, City Solutions at Ford Motor Company, is doing just that. We have what we call our City Insights platform, analytical tools that we can offer to cities and municipalities and state governments to help them manage transportation issues in today's world and tomorrow. We have a module called Livability. It addresses air quality and safety, looking at how do we make roads safer. We have micromobility. We're working with Spark Cognition on micromobility. Take a multimodal transit system where you have subways and trains and taxis and other modes of transportation. How do you manage the fares, maybe dynamically? How do you optimize those fares to move people to one mode of transportation to another, such that all are used efficiently and commuting is as easy as possible? In parking, we are working to optimize, again, parking and curb management. In fact, the city of Ann Arbor came to us and said, we think we have a parking garage capacity issue. And they were looking at investing in another parking garage. More steel, more concrete, more infrastructure. Our team of data scientists studied that and, in fact, came away with the issue isn't parking, limited parking. The issue was congestion around the parking garages. So now we're working with the city to manage that congestion rather than investing in more infrastructure. So again, our City Insights platform is developed to leverage this emergence of rich data, work with artificial intelligence tools to help cities manage their environment and their ecosystem. I want to dig just a little bit deeper on 2 opportunities, as I said, air quality and safety. We know air quality is a significant issue. Let me frame it for you. Every year, 100,000 Americans die with health issues related to air quality concerns. 100,000. That's more than the number of people that unfortunately are killed in vehicle accidents and the victims of gun violence combined. It's 100,000 people. So it's a real issue that we need to address. And we're working with cities. But it's not just about putting sensors out to monitor air quality. All that does is tell you the score. We need to figure out how to improve air quality. And that's what we're doing. We can do a number of things. With artificial intelligence, again, you can have smart infrastructure, smart street lights and such, that ease the flow of traffic. And in fact, cities that have implemented some of these ecosystem tools have real-world results. You can see them on the screen. A 40% reduction in delays through intersections. A 20% reduction in emissions. That's really significant. A 30% reduction in vehicle stops. Now, let's look at that. Many of our cars today have a stop-start feature on your engine, meaning when you get to a red light, the engine turns off, and when you hit the gas, the engine starts and off you go. That's great. It's improving fuel economy, it's reducing emissions, and thereby improving air quality. But what if we can eliminate that stop at a red light? What if we can eliminate the deceleration, the stop, and the acceleration away when the light turns green? That's what you can do with smart infrastructure. In fact, the buses in Washington, D.C. communicate with the streetlights, telling the streetlight that the bus is coming, and they time it such that the bus can roll right through the intersection. That's using technology to change how people move around the world and improve our environment. The one other solution I want to talk to you about is our Safety Insights solution. And that actually was born out of U.S. Department of Transportation challenge. Many parties were invited to participate in this challenge. The objective, it's a data science dream, bring novel concepts and modeling to develop analytical and visualization tools with the goal of saving lives. We had research institutions, public companies, the best and brightest of data scientists participate in this challenge. And I'm proud to share that Ford Motor Company and the University of Central Florida were recognized as the 2 finalists. We're awaiting the word from the DOT as to which one of us won, so we're excited about that. But I'm certainly proud of what our team at Ford Motor Company and our Safety Insights team has done to get that far in the competition. And let me just tell you a little bit about it. We first started visualizing data. We took crash data and roadway data, traffic data, and even our connected car data that shows driver behavior. So maybe rather than a crash event, we have an area where there's constant harsh braking because people don't realize they need to stop. We combined all of that data, helped visualize it. Then we identified hotspots. We looked at not just where accidents occur, but the severity of the physical damage, the injuries, a number of different factors. And finally, aided by artificial intelligence, we can simulate solutions. What does that mean? That means maybe we take a 4-way stop, an intersection, and turn it into a roundabout. And maybe we add raised crosswalks. We can then model the benefits of that. And the benefits are going to be clear. We're going to see reduced accidents, and we're going to see reduced costs to society. So a number of opportunities to use great technology to improve how each of us move around our city and our environment every day. We at Ford Motor Company are convinced that the connected city will benefit all of us as inhabitants of this ecosystem. We've talked about how Ford Motor Company is using artificial intelligence and the power of connected devices to improve safety and our daily commute. As Bill Ford said in his TED Talk in 2011, we can do better. That's the mission that drives all of us every day. Mr. Ford said there can be no compromise to sustained mobility. And I think that's the objective we can all embrace. That's the vision we share at Ford Motor Company, and we remain very committed to as we move forward. Thank you very much for your time.